Hey, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick this Zoom off again. If you don't see your team members on here, let them know that this is the place that they definitely want to be this evening. And again, I appreciate everyone for joining us this evening. I'm back here in Puerto Rico, my hometown here now in Puerto Rico. Was looking at the beautiful ocean today and just saying it's so wonderful to be home. You know, when you're traveling and you're not sleeping in your own bed, it really gets old, doesn't it? So I'm happy to be home, and I'm happy to be hosting this call this evening. And I want to share with everyone, I missed everyone on last Monday, but we were closing out the month. Everyone had an incredible month for the end of the month. And I want to take the time to recognize those that did have an incredible month for the month of July. And I'm going to start with customers. We had a two-way tie for first place. We had Donna Starkey was number one. And we also had Stacy Mayo. So that was a tie. And then right close, only separating by one customer, are the next three. And that was, congratulations, Jessica Strickland. Jessica was number three for last month. We have Lori Reagan-Weather. Congratulations, Lori was number four. We have amazing Carrie Cotis. Congratulations, Carrie. We have Brittany Maxidon. Congratulations, Brittany. I know Brittany requalified at Diamond. So congratulations, Brittany. We have Team Elevated. We have Zachary Kidder, and then we have the amazing Melissa Perdeau. So ladies and gentlemen, give them some love in the chats for the amazing job that they did last month. And then also for business builders, Melissa Perdeau rocked it. She had 3 free tubs of our perks. So if you want any extra perks, you know, you can send her a message there in Messenger because she has 3. She led the leaderboard with 6 new brand partners. Congratulations, Melissa, always leading from the front. We have Jessica Dinkins, number 2. She also earned a free perks. We have Nora Greason, number 3. She earned free. Lori Reagan-Weather again, Reagan-Weather, the amazing Erica Jordan, Brenda Combs, Mary Homolka, congratulations, Mary, Jennifer Boyce, Tammy Harvard, and Ricardo Consulting. And again, give everyone a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Give them some love in the chats for the amazing job that they did last month. And what I like to do so far this month, we're also rocking and rolling. We're at the 7th. Today is the 7th of August. For number 1 on the leaderboard, we have Julie Keith Freelinch. Congratulations, Julie. We have Team Elevated. We have Angela Duncan. Hey, Angela Duncan's on the leaderboard, rocking. Now, these are 3. There's a tie from 3rd place all the way to 8th place. And we have amazing Angela Duncan, Melissa Perdeau. We have Paula Belair. We have Jessica Donlin again, the amazing Carrie Cotis, Aaron Francesi. We have Megan Kelly, Jane Hinderman, and Mary Ellen Pacheco. Congratulations, Mary Ellen. And then for brand partners so far this month, there she is again, leading from the front, Alyssa Perdeau. We have Carrie Cotis. We have Michelle Schultz, and we have Jessica Deacon. So again, I wanted to give everyone a round of applause and give them some love in the chats, ladies and gentlemen. These individuals, you know, and I'm going to, when you hear from our amazing guests this evening, but when you're hearing these individuals being shouted out, I'm sure if you contact them and you have the opportunity to see their posts, they're consistent on social media. They're always out there doing the activities, showing their teams how to do, you know, do the activity month in and month out, day in and day out. And what you realize is that they're just consistent. You know, they're just being consistent. They're just doing the activities day in and day out. So again, give them a round of applause. And now what I'd like to do is I would like to get into this evening's Zoom and introduce our guests. And, you know, my mentor always said, he says, Brian, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I guess he was telling me that when I was ready to be consistent in my business and do the activities day in and day out, I would basically be coachable. So he would say, Brian, when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, that segues into our guest this evening, segues into me introducing her. I want to introduce you to an amazing woman I've had the opportunity to know now for a couple of years. I've had quite a few conversations with her. I know where her heart is. I know why she's successful in this business. You know, you read the announcement for this evening of achieving a level of gold. And many of you may have not known that gold, if you achieve the level of gold in our company, you're actually in the top 4% of our company. Let me say that again. By achieving the level of gold here at the Happy Co, you're in the top 4% of our company. And what's so amazing about her story is that she builds this business part-time. I was speaking with her before we started the Zoom this evening. My question to her was, would you continue to be a teacher, even if you could retire from your teaching career from this business? And guess what she said? Here's another Courtney Hadley. She says, Brian, I love teaching. I'll always teach. It's the part of who I am. And so, Angela, I shared when we were coming onto the Zoom this evening that Courtney Hadley's a teacher. You're a teacher. Is that the prerequisite? Is that what you have to be to get on Courtney's team? You have to be a teacher? I mean, there's something, what's going on here? Okay.
No. Can you hear me? Are you guys, you can hear me now?
I can hear you, Angela. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce you. Angela, please share with everyone where you're from, how long you've been with the Happy Co, and just share with us a little bit about your background so people can know a little bit about you, where you're from, and just share a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay, I sure will. I thank you so much for the opportunity to share. I do love talking about my life, where I am, where I've come from. I talk with my hands, so I'm gonna have to try to sit on them. But no, you don't have to be a teacher, but if you are, oh, we love those teachers. But teaching actually is my second career. I lived overseas. I grew up overseas, and I have never, until the Happy Co, I've never done anything like this. I live right now, my husband and I live in mid-Missouri on beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. I do posts from my deck where you can look out and you can see the beautiful lake and my beautiful view. But I do have summers off and I love that, but I always look forward to being in the classroom with my students as well. So I am a full-time teacher. My middle schoolers help keep me young, so maybe that's why I'll never give it up. But I do love teaching. And so it is one of those things that I have added the Happy Co besides teaching. So that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Oh, amazing, Angela. And I know you're married, right? And you have how many children?
I have 4 children. They're all grown. They all 4 live in the Kansas City area, so they're wanting us to move up there someday. But yeah, I don't have any grandbabies yet. I have one son that's married, and my 3 girls are still single. So no grandbabies quite yet.
Well, you're definitely going to have your hands full when you have those grandbabies. So again, you're probably telling your daughters, and your son, don't rush it. It's okay. Take your time, huh?
Exactly.
Well, Angela, you mind sharing with everyone, how were you introduced to the Happy Co? You said you didn't have any experience in this industry. I mean, you're a rock star, so I would have assumed that you came from another company, you bought a team over, and you've been rocking. So share with everyone how you were introduced to the Happy Co, please.
Well, being a teacher, I would find that I was exhausted all the time. I basically lived in a mental fog where my brain was tired. I would be cranky with my students, just all those kinds of things because you're tired all the time. And I would come home and I literally would fall asleep in the afternoon around 5 o'clock. I would take a bit of a nap. Then I would get up for the evening. And that was my routine all the time. And I had a friend say, hey, you should try my Happy Coffee. And I said, what? Like, I don't need Happy Coffee. And she's like, no, you really should try it. So I decided that I would. And within that first month, I felt like a different person. My husband noticed, which was huge, because he was like, "What are you drinking?" And I said, "It's called Happy Coffee." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, don't ever stop." So that kind of was the first introduction, but it did give me the energy that I needed. And I started finding myself being more calm and patient with my students and with my family, and having the mental clarity to get things done and the motivation. I think that was another thing, because a lot of times when your brain is tired, you know all these things that you need to be doing and you just don't have the energy to do them. And so having the motivation to get things done was a big deal as well. So that was how I was introduced to it. And within, just a couple of months, I realized, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I could ever really make money doing this. It's not really my plan, but I would love to be able to pay for my products. And that was how I joined, and that was why I joined. It was specifically to cover the cost of the products that I was using, and that was it. And I was already talking to people about it, because before I even joined, I was getting people on board because my teacher friends were all saying, "What are you on?" And I'd be like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "You have so much energy." And I told them, I said, "Oh my gosh, well, let me tell you what I'm doing." And so that was before I even became a part of the Happy Co.
Wow, you mind sharing? So the individual that introduced you to the Happy Co, were they a coworker? Did you see them on social media, or was just a coworker that introduced it to you?
It was just a friend. We actually were going to like ladies meetings together for church, and she and I had been telling her, that I was tired and that I could hardly function, and that's when she said it. So it was just a friend that mentioned it, just
Wow.
mentioned it to me.
Well, I'm so happy you shared that, because my mentor shared with me so many years ago, Brian, if you would just speak with everyone, the magic will happen for you. Now imagine if your friend never would have spoken with you, and I know you're a solid gold, but you're also on your way to platinum. Imagine what would have not taken place if she just hadn't opened her mouth and shared with you what she was doing. So I'm so happy that you shared that with everyone on this evening Zoom. And do you mind? And again, I just shared that you're rocking it. I have the opportunity to look at everyone's information, and I keep my eye on you, and I'm like, you're an amazing rock star because you're so consistent month in and month out. And I see your business is growing rapidly. You're a solid gold, but you're thousands of dollars over gold and on your way to achieving platinum. Do you mind just sharing with everyone, how are you doing this part-time, and how are you being so consistent? What are you doing each day in your business, please?
Um, yeah, consistency is key. And I share that with my customers. I tell them that all the time. You have to be consistent. And it's the same way with the business. You have to be consistent. I have found, and I don't know if any of you had seen that Jessie Lee had offered a boot camp at a very good price. So I paid for it. And I've been participating in Jessie Lee's boot camp this past week. And one of the things that she said is that when you have when you see what is happening, you have to be consistent, and you have to present it on social media all the time, because when people see you doing it consistently, they know that you are authentic and that you are the educated voice in that field. And so by being consistent, I have had people watch me. I literally have customers from June. Like I had some new customers in June that were friends of mine that I've known for years, that never asked me about Happy products at all until the month they bought. And it was when they commented and they said, "I've been watching you. I'm ready to try Happy products." And she had never said anything to me about it before. So that consistency is super crucial every single day. And I don't always post business, right? Because sometimes I just do my fun stuff that I'm, sitting on my deck looking at my view, or that I went out and I exercised or whatever. But then you will see the post where I say, you know, I'm enjoying my brew and it's my best way to start my day. And people are watching that, and I want to be the authority for them to come to when they need energy, because they've been watching me and seeing, and they know that I'm the one to come to if they want to talk about appetite curb or mental clarity, or, you know, all these different things, the hormone balance. But I have tried to be consistent every single day. So I have a routine that I use for me, and you have to obviously make your own, like fit it into your own daily routine. But for me, I actually get up a little bit early. I'm out of my element in the summertime because during school time, I like my routine, you know, and in the summertime, I struggle a little bit more with it. But I get up early in the morning so that I have a good 45 minutes to sit down and go through all of my DMOs every single morning. I make my posts, I make my stories, I get ideas, I comment on people's Facebook posts. I go in and I schedule posts in my VIP group. And, you know, I do all of these things. I tell people happy birthday and try to make sure every single day that I'm doing certain DMOs. And I actually have a little checklist, and I just put a little check mark by it each morning. And then throughout the day, sometimes I'll see a comment, like maybe I'll be at my lunch sitting at my desk, and I'll see a comment and I'll be able to comment back on it, or, you know, but always commenting. This is another thing that Jessie Lee said, always, always, always comment back on people's comments. Never let a comment go by without saying something. And even, you know, people who are liking your comments, the reason, or your posts, the reason that they're liking them is some type of interaction. So comment to them and say, thanks for liking my post. Are you just being supportive, or would you like more information? You know, so those kinds of things. And then in the afternoon, when I come home, I have a certain amount of time blocked for exercising, for getting supper, and then for sitting down and kind of finishing up through the evening, contacting people or talking to people that had messaged me during the day. So it's
Wow,
a
wait,
thing.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
You
that's
were
okay.
saying,
It's just consistency.
wow, you said something though, and 45 minutes though. So you said in the morning, you normally spend only 45 minutes. And then how much time do you spend in the evening?
I mean, it really kind of depends on what's happening that evening. It could be a couple of hours. It could be just half an hour if I've got someplace I have to go. I do find that when I'm at school, usually at lunchtime or even before school starts, there's like little times here and there that I can fit things in. Weekends are also, a lot of people are, because of the work week, a lot of people are more active on social media during the weekends anyway. So that's when I get some time in as well. So it really, I mean, you kind of have to play to other people's routines as well, you know, because you have to kind of fit it into where your day is, but also to where they're seeing or commenting at the same time. So
I appreciate you sharing that, because my mentor would always say, Brian, you need at least 7 to 10 hours a week if you're going to be successful. So how many hours a week do you feel that you're utilizing each week to build your business?
I would agree with that. I would say 7 to 10 hours, sometimes more, but probably between 7 to 10 hours a week. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And do you mind, this is the last question, if you could just share with everyone that's on here, whether they're new or whether they're been in the business for a while, what would you attribute your success to by being here in the Happy Co and achieving the success that you're achieving? If you could just share it in a few words, what do you attribute that to?
So like how do I do my work to make it happen, or what have I
Yeah, well,
believed?
if you had met me and I'm joining your team, what would you share with me that will help me be able to launch my business properly and have success in my business? In just a few words, what would you say to me are the things that I need to do consistently, day in and day out, to achieve, to be able to at least reach the level of gold and be at the top in the top 4% of the company?
Well, I think first of all, you have to be authentic. You have to be genuine. And so you have to be willing to step out of your shell and share how the products have impacted your life. Because that is first and foremost what people see and how they're watching. For me, I don't try to sell the products. I'm very relational. And so for me, it's all about developing a rapport. I can't tell you how my heart hurts when I see somebody post on Facebook about how they can't get out of bed this morning, or how, you know, they're so exhausted that they don't have you know, energy to do anything. It hurts me when I know I have answers that can help them. And so I try to comment, and then really come alongside and just share about how their lives could be different. And I always say, you know, the products aren't necessarily for everyone, but I would love to walk with you step by step and help you get a good foundation started and help you be able to use these products to change your life. And if we're talking about joining my business, I want to share with you that, you know, you're not, because a lot of people will say, I can't sell anything. I don't think I'd be good at that. And I say straight up, you know what? You are not selling anything. When you try to sell, people read it and they're not interested. It turns them off. It's when you can talk to their heart and to their needs and their pain points, they begin to realize that you know what you're talking about. And that's when they're interested. And so I say, you're not trying to sell something, just share what the products are doing and how it can change your life as well. I mean, my life has changed because of my finances as well. It's not just because of the products, you know? And so that's amazing things. I mean, I've been traveling, I've flew to visit my parents. My husband and I just got back from a Las Vegas trip. This is all stuff that I never would have been able to do because I didn't have the extra finances.
Wow. You know, I appreciate you, and I know why you're successful because you're so authentic, and you're just pouring into people from your heart, being authentic, letting them know that you have something that can help them. And I'm glad you shared that because that's what the business is about. If we don't open up our mouths and let the world know that we do have something for them, they'll never know. And I can see you're doing that with passion and enthusiasm and consistency. So I appreciate you being here this evening because I know what you shared is going to actually maybe turn on the light for many people that are on here because you're just sharing from your heart, opening your mouth. And
Yeah.
imagine if the person didn't share with you, you wouldn't be in their business and they wouldn't have touched your life and you wouldn't be touching the multitude of lives that you're touching each and every day. So again, appreciate you, Angela. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on. And ladies and gentlemen, give her some love. Give her the love that she deserves because that's what this business is about.
Yeah.
It's about being authentic and just connecting with people. And I'm going to end the Zoom. I hope no one leaves yet because I was having a conversation today with one of my good friends, and he was telling me about one of the leaders on his team, someone who's just blossomed and has built an incredible business. And I'm not going to share her name, but he shared with me an article that the company has just written about her. And it segues, it reminded me a lot about you and your story, Angela. So I just want to read what her story. It says, after Leah finished school, she got started in a corporate career and became a sales executive for Walmart. For years, I was a buyer overseeing multi-million-dollar accounts, she says. It was a nice career budgeting these large accounts, but the long days and nights away from my family were no fun. Even when her workday was over, Leah took her company laptop home to finish up her work. At the time, I was married with 2 children, she says. When we moved to New Jersey looking for a better life, I realized that to keep my lifestyle, I would need to continue working in New York City, which meant a long daily commute. Leah was working 9 to 5 with a newborn and 2 older children at home. Each day, she spent 5 hours commuting back and forth from New Jersey to New York City. 5 days a week, I faced time poverty and missed precious moments with my family, says Leah. Every day, I would dread the long commute and say to myself, there had to be a better way. I was simply chasing the New York money to pay bills, and I was unhappy. I missed my family and could not understand how anyone could work for 40 or more hours a week for 40 years to retire on only 40% of their income. How could people do this every day and enjoy a healthy family life? Every day, Leah would ask God for another way, and one day he answered her. In 2009, a church friend invited me to a home party, she says. My friend did not tell me what it was about. She just said to come hang out with the ladies. She knew I was home with a newborn and needed to get out for some adult conversation. Leah agreed to go because she wanted to have some fun and be with the other woman. Imagine what would have happened. I'm segueing into Angela. This person just invited her out.
Yeah.
And so little did she know she would be introduced to a home-based business and everything it had to offer. I was intrigued with the many ways you could make unlimited income from home while enjoying quality time with your family. It also opened up my eyes to the fact that you could gain time and financial freedom by promoting a product, something people loved and would keep buying over and over. Leah was intrigued because she saw an opportunity to make right now money. How many of you know people out there that need to make right now money in today's economic times? That's what attracted Leah. Not only the residual, but the right time money, as well as earn residual income from building a team. She began to study, and I say this, become a student of the industry. Angela just shared with you, she's learning from Jesse Lee Ward, one of the best. Become a student, invest into yourself. Leah began to study network marketing and how to succeed in the profession. She learned that you couldn't let fear get in the way when you want to achieve success. I used to be afraid to reach out and talk to people, she says. I couldn't see myself walking up to a complete stranger, making eye contact to start a conversation. But the more I studied the top leaders in the profession, the more I learned that I had to step out of my comfort zone if I wanted to grow and earn more. Today, if you come within 2 feet of me, I'm connecting with you. The more Leah learned, the more she fell in love with the business. I really wanted to grow it and leave my corporate career, but I was scared to talk about it with my family and friends, she says. Hello. I thought they would not understand and think I was crazy. Launching her business while working a 9-to-5 job was challenging. Leah would leave her house at 6 a.m. and not get home until 8 or 9 p.m. When she got home, there was little or no time to get on company or team calls. I knew I had to dedicate some time to my business, she says, so I found a way. I invested in a cordless headset which allowed me to listen to recording calls while commuting. I could clean my house and multitask with my headsets. This is when my business began to take off. In just a few months, I earned my first 5-figure check and resigned from corporate America. I have been home for the last 5 years as a stay-home mom, growing my network marketing team and income. Leah prospects daily, offline and online. I love prospecting niche markets such as sports, moms, stay-at-home moms, nail polish clubs, she says. Social media has been my venue of choice for connecting with people and building relationships. I tell my team all the time, if you're going to spend hours on social media, you might as well get paid for it. Hashtag scouting with Instagram and Facebook groups are my favorite ways to find people of interest. Before introducing people to my opportunity or product, I make sure first to develop relationships. Now, I share that with you because she said some important things. She got out of her comfort zone. She couldn't see herself walking up to people and saying anything. But she realized if she was going to achieve her goals, she said, I had to grow. There's that word again. I had to grow. I had to become better. And so what I just read to all of you, everyone can do. Every one of us can do it. Her why was so strong that she found a way. How many people would say, I'm working 9 to 5, I'm commuting, I leave at 6, I get home at 8 or 9. I don't have any time. But she found a solution. So I just thought that was so important. And Angela, with sharing with you and what you've done in this business, because you found a way. You didn't allow teaching to stop you. You said, I could never imagine myself selling anything. But I want to share with everyone, if you sell, you fail. Angela just shared with you this evening that all she does is connect with people and let them know that she has something that can possibly help them. And so, again, I love each and every one of you. I love this community. I appreciate you for spending your valuable time this evening. Again, give Angela the shout out that she deserves for being here to share her story. There are so many of you out there that we want to have you on this Zoom here so that you could share your story. I would just ask all of you to get out of your comfort zone, to not think about yourselves, to really think about the other person and how you can support them and serve them, and you'll see your business take off. So I appreciate each and every one of you. All of you have an incredible Monday evening, and let's have an incredible week. God bless you all and good night. Good night, everyone.